It will be, you'd imagine, for Jose Mourinho and Tottenham. They're in 6th place. They're only a point off top 4, and they're only 6 points off the top of the league. However, it feels like, and this is kind of indicative of what could happen over Christmas, a couple of games and suddenly they go from top of the league to outside the top 4.
Yes, but the thing with Spurs is, I get the impression that they need to score. When they score first, then they say, right, you lot come and get us, and then we'll hit you on the break. I think that people have found that out. I think that Leicester definitely done that against them. And again, you're looking at a Tottenham side that do need to find another way of attacking a team and putting that pressure and using the potency they've got up front from a creative point of view. Not just, yes, Harry Kane's going to drop back and Son's going to go that way, Bergwijn, they're going to do it, and then we hit you on the break. They need to find a way to play through teams and break teams down and beat them straight off the bat. Not just once we get a goal, we're going to sit back and then you come and then we'll hit you on the break, because I think that will get found out.
They can do that. But will they do that under Jose Mourinho?
No, you say they can do it. They could
potentially.
They did do it under a previous manager, but they won no trophies. So Jose decided this is the best way for him to attack it and to play on the counter-attack and use them 2 world-class players in Kane and Son to break the opposition down. It's very difficult when you go behind in the game and all of a sudden you've got to try and change it. Difficult to start creating. Like it's a lot quicker to knock a house down than it is to build one. You need an architect to do that. I don't think they've got too many architects in there. You know, they've got the Højbjerg of this world, who's brilliant at sitting in front of them back too, but he does that job. When you're asking him to go and create and step forward a little bit into midfield areas and start passing the ball forward, he's not his game. You know, is he going to bring in Harry Winks? Is he going to bring Dele Alli after that? Players who are better at Højbjerg and doing that job. It's not the way Jose wants to play. He's setting his ways how he wants to go about it. It's working at the moment, even though that is not working. If we talked about them finishing 5th, that would be, they were 6th. That is not the position where Daniel Levy wants to end the season. That's not why he brought in Jose Mourinho. He brings Jose Mourinho to finish in the Champions League, not to win the Carabao Cup, even though that would be a tick in the box to the fans. Since 2008, they haven't won a trophy. That would be success. But it won't be success if he's outside the top 4.
You see, nowhere near. See the thing that with Højbjerg, just sitting there thinking about it and watching the way he's played and looking at his stats with the pass completion and the pass, interceptions. You think to yourself, well, you've got a player of that caliber who can win the ball and then give it to someone. Then that's what he needs to do. He needs to find who's that person he's going to give it to. That's then going to hold on to it. I think Lo Celso's not bad at that. I think Ndombele is not bad at that. Yeah. But how they're being used, I don't think they're being used offensively to use their creative ability. Because for me, Højbjerg has been magnificent in that whole winning it and giving it to that next person. But that's where the blockage is.
Yeah, we talked quite a bit about Spurs in the aftermath of the defeat by Liverpool, and the point that was made was that what they do is operate within very narrow margins. When you give yourselves very few chances in games, you have to take them, otherwise the whole system sort of falls down, isn't it? And sustainability is the buzzword.
Results football without results can look a little bit underwhelming, and that's one of the issues with Jose. And the fascinating thing is, I think maybe a couple of years ago we all felt that kind of football has had its day, that you can't really have a realistic chance of achieving big targets being so reactive. I think what's happened up until recently is that 2 things. A, they do it so well, the link up between Kane and Son is so good that it almost doesn't matter. They don't need all these touches. They will maximize the opportunities and they will score. And the defense just does a job. And it's a very simple, if you will, setup, but it works brilliantly. At a time when a lot of teams who are trying to be a bit more expensive are either a little bit knackered or have injuries, pressing is down.
Yeah.
So it almost felt as if the stars were aligning this season to make that kind of football more promising and attractive and appealing in terms of what you can achieve with it. The question is now, is it enough? Is it enough to win a title? Is it enough to win top 4?
I think it's
difficult.
Top 4, I think it is. I think it would be enough.
At whose expense?
I don't know, and I don't care at the moment because my team's nowhere near it. So I'd say Tottenham could go top 4 at the moment. I don't care. Arsenal's expected.
But you're looking at, say even you take 4th as a sort of baseline. You're looking potentially at 3 teams being better than them and the rest of the league being effectively worse than Tottenham, or at least close enough that you can squeak in at the last minute. Worst case scenario. What do you think? Are Tottenham going to be one of the top 4 sides in the country?
I think they need to rely on Leicester to drop out of there, Kelly. I think Liverpool...
Not Everton. And
Everton. But Chelsea will be in there and so will Man City. We're forgetting them. We're going to get down to them
We will get Man City.
But Man City will be in the top 4. Man United and Liverpool will be in the top 4. So they're fighting out with Chelsea, in my opinion. I think Leicester will maybe drop away and Everton. So I think it's a straight fight between Jose Mourinho and Frank Lampard. And whoever finishes outside the top 4 loses their job, probably.
No way does Jose lose his job at Tottenham.
If he don't finish in the top 4, then he hasn't done what they brought him in to achieve.
Can I just very, very quickly ask about Aston Villa? Because I think you're probably all going to say that they might not finish in the top 4. They win their 2 games in hand. They move up to 2nd.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous for a team that just narrowly avoided relegation.
No, but I think that what they learned a lot from that, and then you have to say that the players who've like Douglas Luiz, you know, the way he's performed, Traore's starting to perform. He's Jack Grealish is doing his stuff. Ollie Watkins, they've kind of put, you know, Tyrone Mings and the way he's helping Concert at the back there, and for me, Matty Cash. Brilliant. I think that they for where they are, if they finish in the mid-table, that is absolutely perfect for them. They will cause problems to teams, but they're a lot stronger than they were last season.
So not top 4 or top 6,
I don't think
for Villa?
No, I think it's going to be tough for them to get the top 6 simply because of who can be there. Because if you look at Leicester and Everton, who I thinking may drop out for Man United, because you have to say Man United will definitely stay in there. I think Man City's going to come in, get involved. As well. So I think that for them to even get into the top 6 is going to be tough, because you have to say that Chelsea and Tottenham are going to be in and around there as well. It's going to be a tough one. So what they're doing up to this point, and the way they've got more players helping Jack Grealish, I think is brilliant. Yeah. But I think their time is not yet.